Hey folks, back at you right quick. When it comes to stuff like all of our artist friends leaving, it almost feels like I've become the town crier. But I haven't. It's always been a part of how I operate to be interested in the music news and to be checking out the music news daily, like one of the first things I do in the morning. So yesterday I made a video after I woke up and found out about the passing of John Wetton. And I really didn't go through my collection to show anything. I still haven't, but I grabbed these. Yes, John Wetton was a member of this amazing band UK. I have two copies of this as a collector because one is a white label promo. Back in the halcyon days of the music industry, when they would make records, they would produce two versions of the record. One for the general market and one for the radio stations to play. And they used to, and you would know the difference by the white labels and then the promotional stamps and stuff. Anyway, John Wetton, I got to see them. I saw UK, I forgot to mention that. I saw the second version of UK with Terry Bozzio on drums. I saw them on this tour. And it was great to be able to watch them perform. The highlight in my memory was Terry Bozzio's drum solo, although Eddie Jobson was a rather dynamic performer on stage, quite a musician. But it was just great to be able to say that I saw John Wetton and here's their live album. But sure enough, it has to do with our age, guys, and the passing of time. But no sooner do we hear about John Wetton yesterday, but comes the news that Deke Leonard, excuse me, I don't know why I said Anderson. Deke Leonard of the band Man, who was I think about 70 years old, he passed away yesterday. And Man was an English band, kind of a boogie band, but I like boogie, and I do like the blues. I don't listen to it madly, but what I liked about Man, I'm showing the Man albums. Deke wasn't in the band the whole time. But what I liked about Man was that they had an Englishness to their boogie. They didn't copy American blues. There was something English about it. And I like that because, as I've said very honestly, I have used music to escape and learn about the rest of the world and get out of a lot of the more depressing aspects of American life as a black person. Here's another one, Welsh Connection, which has a lot to do with why I show you so many white artists, because I knew all along that this music was mine. There's always been this double standard regarding whites and blacks, everything, you know what I'm saying? And I just knew that I liked this music and it belongs to me, and so I'm claiming it. So that's why I show you this stuff as opposed to what some people would assume I'm supposed to show you. See how I always get that social commentary in there? It's always going to be there. It's part of why I'm here, is to make these commentaries, to say that life has been and continues to be really unfair for a lot of people. And a part of it is to do with white privilege, the unspoken white privilege that needs to be dismantled, okay? I'm not feeding white privilege by listening to white music. I am trying to be a part of the solution by showing you as a human being what I love, which is all things, but also pointing out a blaring inconsistency, which is white privilege. And it continues. And if it wasn't for the legacy of white privilege, in my opinion, we would not have this travesty of a president that we have now. The backlash, it's the blacklash, in some words. You may disagree, I may be wrong. This is what I'm choosing to say today. I don't know. That's what it looks like to me. The blacklash to Obama. We got to get somebody white back into the office, and you couldn't do any better than Trump. Tells me a whole lot about what it was about in the first frickin' place, okay? Okay? There's a whole lot of healing that needs to do, and as long as we play sides against the other, there ain't nothing happening. This conservative versus liberal, pro-life versus pro-choice, black versus white. If we can't get past that stupidity, we're just we're fucked, and we are, because we can't get past it. We can't get past our own stinking shit. Can't get past our own stinking shit, can we? Here's something else I played yesterday, just because it's been forever. I love this band, Alice Cooper, killer. Saw them on the $1 Billion Babies tour, mind-blowing show, unforgettable, killer. Here's a band that I opened a show for, forgot all about. I don't know how many years ago it was. A psychedelic stoner band, Warhammer 48K. This is some good stuff. Like a modern, no, they take a tip from Hawkwind, but they do something of their own with it. This is really good. Forgot I had it, actually. I was going through stuff, and there it was. Before I forget, Jackie Liebesy, the drummer of Can, who died recently, played with a lot of people. One of my favorite pieces of music with his drumming on it is this, Ecstasis by Nicky Skopolaitis, a guitarist who came to my attention through his work with Bill Laswell. Bill Laswell is also on this, as well as the drummer from The Meters, Ziggy Modeliste, is on here. But you can't touch Jackie. Jackie's drumming on here is amazing. This will get played on my radio show either today or next week. Was listening to all kinds of music. Vincent Rai, Autumn Song, Indian artist who passed away in the 80s. But what is the name of this guitar? Sarad. He plays Sarad. He has the members of Oregon on this album with him. Beautiful, beautiful music. The compilation I was playing, Cleric Hours, from the Netherlands. Really cool. That slides off. It's like a watch on a wrist. Section 25, Mini Pops, Exmal Deutschland. Some great songs on this album. Cleric Hours. An ambient masterpiece. David Sylvian, Words with the Shaman, with John Hassel, Steve Jensen, and Holger Zukai. This is a masterpiece. Sorry about the light, guys. I'm just going to stay a couple more minutes. And then the last thing I'll show is Forever Loving Miles Davis. So I listened to In Concert. Love this stuff. People, I appreciate your kind comments. I still have people attempting to leave unpleasant comments, but again, I'll say this because this is information that is helpful. We are mirrors of one another. So whatever it is you're seeing here that causes you to make a negative response, mainly what it is it's a mirror of what you're seeing and what's inside of you. Using me as the mirror. So whatever ugliness that you try to give to me, it's coming from you. It's coming from you. And I'm not wavering from that because I'm just here living my life, sharing musical knowledge, telling you a little bit about my life. And every now and then somebody comes along and tries to leave a shit stain. It just reflects them, not me. And every time you do it, I see it. And that's why I just delete the stuff. Some of you folks that might read my comments might every now and then get a chance to see these before they go. Last thing I'll say is with all the musicians leaving, I also had to deal with the unfortunate news that yesterday a good friend of mine died. Scott Martin was his name, and he was a close friend. He was a good buddy. He was a musical friend. He was also someone who became sober while I knew him. When I first met him, we were hard partying buddies, but he was one of those kind of people who just didn't know when to stop. And when he got sober, I don't know if it was 10, 15 years ago, he really pulled his life together because he was killing himself. But he was a musical brother. He would do things completely unexpectedly. He was living on the West Coast one time, and this was before I got to see Catherine Wheel. And he got to see the band Catherine Wheel, got to meet him and got some swag signed by them. But he didn't get it signed for him. He got it signed for me and sent it to me. You know, just amazing. Something else he gave me. I've never shown this. I've never shown this, okay? Because it's such a special gift to me from my brother Scott. Scott was a music nut like me. Big into the Grateful Dead, but also I turned him on to bands like Catherine Wheel, porcupine tree in Japan, and so he started to collect them. I don't know if it's been a year or two ago that he gave this to me. The limited edition book version of Stephen Wilson's Insurgentes. I've never shown this. It's the 2 10-inch records version with the book. Just amazing. You know, look this up on Discogs and see what it goes for. Just amazing. I haven't even played the records. I have Insurgentes. I was so blown away when Scott brought this over and just, again, thanking me. Scott's one of those people that when he was going through, trying to become sober, I would get calls at 3 in the morning, blubbering out of his mind. I'm about to kill myself. I'm so miserable. And he was one of those few people whose call I would take, because over the years I've had a lot of people do that to me, and if you allow it, people will just take advantage of you and just suck the life out of you, and you never get to stop. But Scott was someone I responded to because he meant so much to me. Anyway, music is the healer. I continue to watch the news for some kind of good news regarding the administration. I'm not anti-Trump. I'm seeing what's going on. That's my alarm. It's not that I'm wanting him to fail or I just have it out for him. I see what he's up to, and that's why I'm alarmed and watching. This is not biased. This is being as clear as I can about what's going on in this country. I'm looking for something good to come from this administration. I haven't seen it yet. I guess depending on what side of the fence you sit on or how much money you got, or maybe what color you are, you might see it differently. If something actually good for the American people is happening through this bozo, I'm waiting to see it. Be well.